creative of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. And where my fathers lie, land of the pilgrims thrive, from every mountainside, let freedom reign.
As we're assembled again to transact business of mutual benefit, do not let petty jealousies or trivial personalities influence our deliberations. Let us uphold always the obligations of unselfish comradeship and loyalty to our organization and to the government of the United States of America. I now declare SMITH-WYNN Post 96 duly open for the transaction of business. Our VFW Charter is the purpose of this corporation shall be fraternal, patriotic, historical, charitable, and educational, to preserve and strengthen comradeship amongst its members, to assist worthy comrades, to perpetuate the memory and history of our dead, and to assist their surviving spouses and orphans, to maintain true allegiance to the government of the United States of America and fidelity to its Constitution and laws, to foster true patriotism, to maintain and extend the institutions of American freedom, and preserve and defend the United States from all her enemies. We're going to break from our normal meeting structure because we have a speaker today, and so I will go ahead and ask. Got to see Judi Pritchard at the VFW State Convention here in Montgomery a few months ago, and she has an interesting topic to talk about with us today. Jason Hughes was able to talk with her and secure a time to speak to us, and so with that, I will ask Judi Pritchard to please come up and...
Thank you, everyone. Wow, I'm in awe to be here with you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for your service. My name is Judi. I'm from the Alabaster area, and I am a speech pathologist and a certified dementia practitioner. And we started a nonprofit, my husband and I, in 2019, after I've worked my entire career in skilled nursing facilities, helping adults that were having memory issues and cognitive decline. And at 2019, I kind of had an epiphany moment of, wow, there's so much more that we can do and need to do for people before they start experiencing memory problems, but even more so afterwards. We made it our mission, and that's why we have the Care and Thrive Foundation. So our whole mission is to help people understand their brains, understand how proactively strengthen their brains, and then if they do start having problems related to brain changes, how to fight against it and how to live your life, and not just live but truly thrive. And that's why we named it the Care and Thrive Foundation. So I wanted to just share a few moments with you, and I won't take up too much time, and I'll try and keep you awake after that great lunch y'all had. But I just want to talk to you a little bit about your brain. And I promise I'm going to end on a positive note, because talking about dementia is never a happy topic, but I promise I'm going to end in a good way. So how many of you have gone out to your car and thought, oh, I forgot my phone, or I forgot my wallet, or I forgot my keys?
Or I forgot where the car was.
Even more so. Absolutely. And or have been told, oh, you're having a senior moment. Has anyone heard that phrase before? Oh, come on.
Or how many have left your wife at the mall and left and went home?
And how many stayed in the doghouse for a while? I bet. You know, historically, we've always been told that it should just be an expectation that your brain is going to slow down as you age. But now what we know through research is that's not the case. You can proactively work against it. Your brain is a muscle, and just like any other muscle in your body, you can either ignore it and it's gonna go away basically, or you can work with it and you can strengthen it and build it. But if we keep going the way we've always gone, where we don't work specifically on our brain, the scientists now project 1 out of every 9 people are going to have dementia. Or have medication. The medication helps, but you'll see a lot of medications or supplements that are on TV that are promoting help with memory loss. They're not scientifically researched to show any different. They can help in some people, and I'm not telling you not to take it, but I'm just telling you don't rely on that alone. So out of those 1 out of 9 people, it's estimated that 70% of those people don't have to progress into dementia. Even if you have the genes that are related to dementia and you have a family history of it, you can fight against it. It doesn't automatically mean you have to get dementia, but you have to start working out. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter if you're Mr. Gerald over here, a World War II vet, or someone like his age. You need to start now protecting your brain and working with it. And the first step to that is knowing how well is your brain functioning. And if you think about it, unless you're having problems, significant problems enough that you bring it up to your doctor, the chances of you getting diagnosed in the next month are slim to rare. To get diagnosed with a cognitive issue, to go through the true testing, takes at least 18 months. In that 18 months, you're really just waiting. You're having testing and you're waiting for results. Then you're waiting for the next test. That's 18 months that your brain may be changing further, that we could be helping you. So what I encourage and what we offer through the Care and Thrive Foundation is a cognitive profile. It's a testing platform that you do online. Some of you have taken it in the room, so you can give your testimony about it if you'd like to share. And it actually looks at 12 functions of your cognition, of how well your brain is working. And what we know from scientific research is that brain changes start to happen up to 20 years before someone is diagnosed with dementia. That's 20 years. If we had insights, we could help stop it, or at least slow it down. And at the very least, help you learn ways to adapt your world so we can continue functioning independently longer. That's our goal. The cognitive profile is completely free. We encourage everyone to take it. I've had my kids take it. They're 25 and 28, and I have them take it every year. And that way, if there are subtle things changing, I'm jumping on it and I'm going to give them an exercise program. Some of the general changes, or some of the general things you can do every day to have a more healthy lifestyle to support your brain, there's basic things that you've probably heard about. One is eating a healthy diet. That doesn't mean you can't ever have dessert. I love my dessert. But try and fill your diet more with plant-based materials. Try and have less red meat. You can still have red meat. It doesn't mean you have to cut everything out, but less red meat. And in general, just have more fruits, more vegetables, more natural foods that aren't processed. Another thing is to keep in control of your health. Get regular checkups, get your labs done regularly so that we can monitor cardiovascular circulation especially, because it impacts your brain as well. Another thing is get physical exercise. Now that doesn't mean you have to go to the gym and run a marathon every year. That just means 15 to 30 minutes of aggressively walking at least 5 times a day, or 5 times a week will be great. It helps support your brain health. In addition to that, sleep. I know sleep is hard. Sleep is hard for me at times. But the more you can get sleep on a regular basis, the better your brain health will be. When you sleep, it releases the toxins out of your brain and helps solidify memories that you have. So getting good sleep, especially if you can do that without medication, is really fantastic for your brain. Another thing is keeping social interactions. Obviously in this room, you guys are really good about social interactions. I love this, seeing this group so big. Keeping a social interaction brings you and your brain cognitive stimulation. So that's a form of exercise for your brain specifically. So stay involved with your family, stay involved with your friends. Go to outings such as this. and stay connected with your friends, because it's brain health. You're exercising your brain. But then specifically doing things to challenge your brain. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I do crossword puzzles all the time. That's wonderful, but if it's something you do all the time, it's not doing anything but pulling out the same information all the time. Exactly. So what happens in repetition? If we watch the same show on TV all the time, we probably put it on to help us go to sleep, right? It doesn't stimulate you at all. Same thing if you do the same activity brain-wise. You need to challenge yourself to learn something new. Challenge yourself to learn something new, or at least have a big variety of things that you can do. It can be as little as learning how to golf, or playing putt-putt even if you don't want to really play golf, or if you've never done it, or shooting a basketball, or playing a new game with your kids or your grandkids. Games have a lot of cognitive components built into them, and a lot of what I help my clients do is see what kind of, after they take the cognitive profile, showing them a whole list of activities that they can do that will specifically help those areas that they've scored lower in. One other thing that you can do is really stay up to tune with how your body feels. If you're starting to feel like I'm not quite as sharp about something as I used to be, or you've had surgery, or you've had COVID, these things all can have a lingering effect on your brain's ability to function. Strokes, absolutely. Absolutely. Out of that 1 out of 9 that I was telling you, the scientists have projected that if we stay on the current path now, we'll get dementia. If you've had strokes, if you've had concussions or multiple concussions, your chances are even higher. So it's even more important now that we get you on track with getting your brain health in control. So I do have some materials for you, and I want to open it up for questions as well. If you're interested in taking the cognitive profile, please let me know. I'm going to give you a QR code and my website and my email address. If you need anything, call me. It's my phone number's on there, my email's on there. Call me. That's why we do this information. I want to be able to help you out and get you started on the right track. And so many people just have general questions about, should I be worried? Call me. Let me take that worry off of you, and let me help you get in touch with the people you need to get in touch with. That's really all.
We'll pass that info out.
Absolutely.
Take some questions.
Absolutely.
Give Robert one to start with, please. Or Brenda gets it.
The one single page is a flyer that has all of our different services on. So just as much as we help people that have cognitive changes happening, we also help family members that are caring for people with cognitive changes. So we can help them understand what's happening and help them understand how to continue enabling their loved one to do what they can do. The worst thing you can do if you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I watched Wheel of Fortune,
Yeah.
and on that, it gets Prevagen increases your memory as you get older. Is there any truth to that?
Prevagen is one of those that I was talking about that's not scientifically proven.
Yeah.
The FDA doesn't give it any support or backing. I haven't tried it. I do have a lot of clients that have tried it. Some think it works, some doesn't. So it's really one of those things, if it makes you feel better, like taking a vitamin and you need it and makes it feel better, it's not gonna hurt you from what I
I've got
understand.
another friend that takes something else, Neva or something like that.
Well, you got a
And they say it actually works on her, and she loves it, and she's a white lady at
Yeah.
81.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that if it helps you, great, but it's not proven to help. It doesn't mean necessarily it doesn't. But the biggest thing you can do is like take the cognitive profile so we can see how well you're functioning, and then you can know for sure how it's going. Now, this other pamphlet I have here just tells you a little bit more about the cognitive profile. Again, it's totally free. There's no, other than your time, it does take about 40 minutes to take it. Other than that, it's totally free. When you take it, you'll actually get a report. I'll call you first so we can talk through it and make sure you understand everything about it. And then you'll get a copy of it so you can share it with your family. You can share it with your medical community so they know. it gives you a baseline. So heaven forbid if you do get a bump on the head or you do get COVID that feels like it lingers, you at least know how you were functioning before so we can get you back there, okay? So anyway, this has that information in it. It has some of the brain healthy approaches in there that we just talked about. And then it also has a card in here that has that QR code I was telling you about. So please take a look at the website, call me if you have any questions. Feel free to share the information, and I'd love to get y'all signed up for it so you can take it and we can get y'all right back. Yes?
My friend says I'm too young to get dementia. Is there an age for dementia?
Great question. Thank you for that. How many of you would be surprised if I told you Alabama is the #1 state in the nation for people getting dementia under the age of 65?
Drink the water.
The average age of people getting diagnosed in Alabama is 48. 48. Now keep in mind the first thing I told you, one of the first things I told you, 70% is estimated of those people do not have to get diagnosed because we could help fight them against it. We can't cure it. There is no cure, so please don't misunderstand me. There's not a cure. My goal is to help you prevent ever getting there by helping you work out your brain. That's our whole goal. Yes, Jason?
I have taken her online test, and she's called me, we've gone through it, everything, and I found out that I am normal. I have legal documented proof that I am normal. So,
I've lost all faith in this.
Who took the test for you?
I can neither affirm or deny because I took a violation, but.
That's good, Jim.
Yeah.
You hit on the question there I think some will have. If they take this test, what guarantee do they have that it will remain private?
Oh, great question. Absolutely private. When you sign up for the services, there's a whole form that you go through that is my commitment to you. That legally I have to keep it compliant. I have. If I don't, that's my reputation as well as my integrity.
Is there a section like regular HIPAA stuff where you can say, you can discuss, if my spouse contacts you, you can discuss it with them, or is it just the person that is going to be just to them and they can't give it to
Just to
anybody?
them. Just to them. And if you decide to share it, that's your business. But no, I won't talk to anybody else about it. Not once you, especially on the test, because the test will not diagnose you with something. It's going to let you know how your brain is functioning on a day you take that test. If you decide to do services with me, then absolutely you decide. You dictate everything on who gets shared with or if nobody gets shared with. That's totally up to you.
Got a question for you.
Absolutely.
My question is, once we call you and we will do the test, so if we need services, do we go through the VA for that, or how does that work?
I don't know if the VA offers services like that. I can tell you I have several veterans that I work with that actually work for the VA. And they're coming and working with me because they haven't seen any services like that. But there's no charge that the foundation ever charges the veteran.
So, but if it's up in Alabaster,
Yeah, or we can do it even over Zoom or over the phone. Yes, absolutely. What, I'm sorry?
I didn't get the tail end of that, the cost.
The no cost to veterans,
Oh, that's
zero.
I'll pay you $6 tonight.
Zero. If you'd like to make a donation, that would be great because it'll help us continue, but no cost to you at all.
Tax, deductible there?
A donation, absolutely, yeah. We're an official 501c3 nonprofit. Absolutely.
Can we get to the cognitive test through this?
Yes,
QR
you can.
code? We don't need that other brochure that you.
No, this will just tell you more about it. It'll get you registered for it. I actually have to take your information then and log it into our system. And then you'll get a link in email and the link will take you directly to your private profile. Yeah.
Is the research, I know you don't really get this, but is the actual research shared with anybody, or do you guys just keep that information?
We contract with a group called Cryos, who actually works with Cambridge University in Canada. They're the neuroscientists that created it. They do keep all the information. They don't keep your personal information other than your age. Now, one thing a lot of people ask me why, when they register, I do ask for your year and month of birth because it's normed against people of your sex and your age. So that's why I need that. I don't care if you tell me the right month, but the year is very important, because then you're in the right age group that you're normed against, so we can tell how you're functioning compared to others your age. Sir?
Earlier, I had a hearing problem, I understand you say that Alzheimer is one of the highest rates. Is the reason for that?
It's number one.
Number one?
Yes, sir.
Number
Why? Do you know why?
There's a lot of speculation. In case you didn't hear it, he'd asked about where I was telling you that Alabama is number one for people under the age of 65. There's a lot of speculation, and that's from a Blue Cross Blue Shield study that was released in 2019. They don't know if it's our diet. They don't know if it's our lack of activity. They don't really know. There's a lot of other smaller research studies going on right now trying to figure that out. Yeah. I don't know, could be. I don't know. So we're trying to figure it out. But yeah, so it's just, they don't have the answers yet. There's not been enough studies.
I got one more question.
Of course.
I take a little small pill for my memory.
Mhm.
Just something similar to the stuff they have on TV. The best I can tell, I don't think it's doing no good, 'cause I can't remember doing it.
Give me a call. Give me a call. Reach out to me.
Okay, I will.
We're done. Excellent.
Spending your money on it.
Sorry.
Again, I have one more question. Is it alcohol that I have in free?
Oh, good question. Yes.
We didn't hear it down here, one question.
He asked about diabetes type 3. Has anyone heard of this yet?
Yeah.
Diabetes type 3.
Dementia.
Mm-hmm. It is. So in your brain, there is an enzyme. The job of that enzyme is twofold. One is to control insulin, your blood sugar levels. The other is to fight off plaque that grows in your brain. Now, plaque in your brain is what leads to dementia because it clogs the transmission of your information in your brain, and it actually causes your brain to shrink. Diabetes 3, when this enzyme, when you have too much blood sugar in and your body's not regulating it well, that enzyme focuses all its time on insulin and does not control plaque at all. So that's where the diabetes 3 is coming from. Yeah, you're very well versed. That's great to know. So it is very important. Here's another clue. When you go for your lab work, they will typically do your blood sugar, right? You also need to ask them to do your blood insulin. That's how we know how that enzyme is working in your brain. If your blood insulin levels are too high, you know that enzyme is not fighting off plaque. So we need to get the insulin under control. So ask for those two measures, blood sugar and blood insulin. Thank you for that good question.
In the VA, you have to go to the primary care.
Mhm.
Why don't the doctor's office go ahead and test for the insulin?
It's a great question too. I don't know. Even my own personal physician, I went to him and I asked him about it, and he asked me all the questions around why. Physicians are fantastic. I'm not against physicians at all, but unless they continue to go on with their studies around the latest updates around cognition and the brain health, they don't have the latest information always. And then you also have insurance groups. If insurance groups aren't on top of it as well and don't understand the benefit of fighting proactively, then they may not cover it. Mm-hmm. Sir?
Isn't it true that Alabama ranks in the top 5 of the incidence of diabetes?
I don't know the exact number, but we are up there. Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Diet's a big clue. Absolutely. Yeah.
I have one more.
Sure.
When you started, I didn't get your name, but you said give you a call and all that.
Yes.
It don't hear.
Here, we also have these that we can pass around to you guys. Just bring this.
Everything's right there on the bottom left, right?
I'm Judi Pritchard. Yep, Judi Pritchard. Yeah. Sir. Pritchard.
You go to this test online.
That's right.
It takes how long?
About 40 minutes. Jason, how long did it take you?
About 40 minutes. And it's interesting, some of the stuff they test on, and you gotta fit puzzles and pieces, and it's interesting. It's a bunch of little small tests they do to be able to test you from different angles and that kind of stuff.
Is it like the ASVAB?
No.
I hope not.
So it is, once you started, there are 12 segments. As long as you finish a segment, you can take a break. And then, because what you want to do is pick a time where you're not going to get interrupted. So you don't want someone coming in or calling you on the phone, so turn your phone off, because we want a true picture of your non-distracted brain.
I got a question.
Yes, please.
The test that they give you at the doctor's office for, I guess, memory, what's that? How
It's
does
a
that-
screener.
That's a screener.
It's another type of screener. So typically what they'll do is ask you the date, the time, where are you, can you draw a clock? Has anyone had that one before?
Yeah.
You don't share your business, but
You can drive clock in the physical world?
that's great that you say that, because a lot of my younger clients, they have a difficult time with reading the clock. Absolutely. Yeah, so that testing's gonna have to change. That's a screener. A lot of physicians, general practitioners will use that, and then hopefully if they see a concern, will help send you on to somebody else, a neurologist usually. But the other thing I help my clients understand is how to ask questions. So you don't ever want to just take a quick answer, no matter what you're going to a doctor for. You want to ask the questions. Any new medication? What are the side effects that may impact my cognition? A lot of medications have impacts on cognition. And not that I'm saying medications are bad. Medications are definitely great. But you want to know, are there options? If there is a cognitive impact, is there another option that will help me from the health perspective, but not impact cognition? So it's important to ask questions. Sir?
By some chance, is anybody diagnosed that TBI and dementia are somehow correlated?
Just like I was mentioning earlier about the number of concussions, the more you have of concussions, whether diagnosed or not, because what I'm learning from a lot of my veterans is depending on where what the situation was in which they had an impact on their brain, they could not ask for help. There was the gentleman I had that's on a battlefield, and he couldn't. He had to jump right back up and start working again. And so whether it's diagnosed or not, if you feel like you had impact like that and you're concerned now, call me. But yeah, there are correlations related to the number of impacts to your brain. Just like kids in sports. I love sports. Sports have so many great benefits, but you have to be careful with concussions and jumping back into the game.
Speaking of sports, is our state's high number of dementia cases, could that explain why so many University of Alabama fans think they have more football championships than they have?
Are you a UCF fan?
It's okay. Roll Tide, 150 years, you got one anyway. It's cheap to get it, but that's okay.
Sir, I think you had a question.
Is there a point in time, like say 1995 or whatever, of which Alzheimer's began to spike? Or increase beyond what maybe would be a normal increase?
I don't know about that as much. I think people's awareness of it increased. And so one thing to know too is Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. Dementia is really like a big term for all different types of cognitive changes. And Alzheimer's is the most prevalent, so it's 85% typically of the type of dementias.
If you can find out if there was a point in time where it began to spike, correlate that to when the food industry introduced high fructose corn syrup, which is garbage.
Processed
See, I manufacture
foods.
food, and I track all this stuff. And let me tell you something. Don't ever get stuck eating the same thing all your meals, especially like breakfast. I may go 7 days and eat 7 different things for breakfast. Do not, because you don't know which one of those is going to bite you. So if you say moderation, I say
Variety. Yes, I agree with you.
It's not moderation sometimes unless you have an eating disorder.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And especially limiting processed foods. Yeah, you want things that come right out of the ground, right from the...
Artificial color, go right straight to you. I gotta follow.
Processed meats.
People will not quit doing it.
Yep.
Try to quit. the same seat.
All right.
All right.
Is that it? Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your service.